Okay, so I am on a Windows 11 machine, but I'm running Linux Ubuntu on VirtualBox. So if I open a terminal and I compile the code, sign1.c, sign1, so um, then I run the assignment. Uh, So it'll ask me to enter the number of child processes to create. So if I write something that's outside of the scope, so like 5, it'll tell me that I have to enter something between 1 and 4. So if I go and do it again, and I enter 4, you can see it's actually out of order because it's run in parallel. So each time you run it, it's going to be in a different order. So child 1 was just computing the factorial of 5. I chose this for child 1 because I was initially just going to choose the same tasks as in the assignment specifications, but I decided not to go with that to have it be a bit more unique. But at that point, I had already done the factorial one, and also I was mostly just going with tasks that were really simple. Um, so the second one is to toss a coin 5 times. The reason why I chose tossing a coin is because I like to do random number generation. It sounded like a more interesting task, I guess. And also, it was something that was really easy. I was trying to do very basic tasks, like 3 and 4 was to 3 was to find the maximum value in an array, and 4 was to find the minimum value in an array. Um, it was really easy after I did the maximum one to just flip it and do minimum right after. So if we look at the results, we could see that first of all the child is telling you what the task is, and it actually, if once we go into the code, we could see that uh, the child actually does the it does the math behind it, whereas the parent prints it. And we can see here that the parent is the one printing the result. Um, we get 120 in this case for factorial of 5, which is correct. Child 2, we get from the parent. Heads, 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 tails. And that's different every time you run it. If we were to run it again, we could see that this time we get tails, heads, tails, tails, tails. And also, you can see that it's now in a different order. So that was child 2. If we look at child 3, which was finding the maximum value in an array, we can see that the array has a maximum value of 961. And if we look at the parent for that, for child 3, we can see it is 961. And then 211 for the minimum. If we look at the minimum, it is indeed 211. It's the same numbers, but a different array for child 3 and 4. So if I now, well, before I go into it, I guess I should talk about the time for each task. So task 1, actually all of the tasks had the same execution time of 1 microsecond, except for child 2, which is predictable because child 2 is not only creating a random number, which is more complicated, but it does it 5 times for each of the 5 times that it needs a new random number. So child 2 was 7 microseconds, and child 1, 3, and 4 were 1 microsecond. So if I do nano assign 1.c, we can look at the code here. So the libraries here that I needed to include, this is for input and output. This is for random number generation, which we used right here in order to get if it's a heads or a tails. This is for pipe and fork. This is just wait functionality, string functionality, time. This function is for the factorial, for finding the factorial of 5. This is for flipping a coin 5 times. This is for the maximum value in the array. And then this, if I can scroll down here, this is for the minimum value in the array. This just prints the messages from each child, and then this prints the results from the parents. And so you can see it specifically from the child and the parent, and not from getting the results from the children, showing that the pipe functionality is working. So in the main function here, this just asks for the information. Here we generate the pipes, the 4 pipes that gets created. And then this is just for the for generating the children. And yeah, so the bugs that I had while working on this, I had when I was actually generating I had 2 main things that I think were the most difficult, which was actually one of them didn't even relate to the assignment itself. It was actually using VirtualBox brought up a lot of challenges, like my microphone and camera. I couldn't get those to pass through from Windows to Linux. It was giving me all kinds of issues. Also, the amount of memory that I had on the VirtualBox machine was causing issues for like recording and things like that. So instead, I decided to just record it through Windows. So Windows is recording with OBS, and I just decided to uninstall OBS from Linux. And then I had an issue with get time of day, which was used for the that was used for getting the time per each task. And I had an issue. That was actually a really basic issue, but for some reason I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was actually related to like my functions themselves, but it turns out it was I had just written it incorrectly, and so I had to look up what the correct implementation of it was, and I was able to get it to work that time.